Hello friends, welcome to my channel Mukesh English. Friends, in this video we are going to revise the complete syllabus of the first semester BCom SEP syllabus General English under Bangalore University. Your exams are approaching and this video will help you to get an overview of the whole syllabus, the overview of the complete syllabus. And in this video I'm going to give you a very brief summary of all the lessons, a glance of all the components of the question paper, and this video is based on the model question paper. So if you go through this video, definitely you will be able to recall the important key points of the examination. So absolutely we are not going to have a discussion in detail because we are revising, right? We are revising the whole syllabus. So hope this video will help you to score better, and it's a last moment revision. So you know very well the General English first semester BCom SEP syllabus has the weightage for 80 marks. Examination will be for 3 hours, right? So let's begin it very quickly without much delay. Section A consists 50 marks, prose and poetry, and you have here 8 lessons. 1 minute. You have here, I'm sorry, just a moment before let's go for the question paper structure. So the 50 marks questions, how will be asked in the examination? Answer 5 questions, 2 marks, 5 questions, then 5 marks, 4 questions, and 10 marks, 2 questions with the choice. For 2 marks, you have 8 questions. You need to select 5 questions. For the 5 marks, you have 6 questions. You need to select 4 questions. For 10 marks, you have 4 questions. Just select 2 questions. So this is a blueprint of 50 marks from the prose and poetry. So which are the lessons you have in your syllabus? You have those 8 lessons: I'm a Ghost, the Verger, Letter to God, My Financial Career, Who Can Be Called a Great Man, An Elementary School in a Slum, Fidelity, the famous poem by Wordsworth, My Mother's Sari, written by a poem by Vaidehi. So these are the 8 lessons you have for 50 marks. So here, as far as the revision is concerned, I'm going to give you a very brief summary of each and every chapter very quickly. I may be quite fast. You can pause the video and you can go through the content. And for all the summaries and all the videos content, you can watch my other videos. Links are in the description box. Lesson number 1, I'm a Ghost, written by Satyajit Ray. The story I'm a Ghost by Satyajit Ray is about a ghost named Sudhanya who died in an accident at Lily Villa in Deoghar. He was burned to death when a stove exploded while he was making tea. Since then, he has lived alone in the house, feeling lonely because his burnt appearance frightens people, making them avoid the house. One day, a famous writer named Narayan Sharma comes to Lily Villa to work on a book about ghosts and about spiritualism. Despite warnings from locals about the house being haunted, Sharma chooses to stay here, claiming he knows how to protect himself from ghosts. This intrigues Sudhanya, but it also angers another ghost, Naskada, who plans to harm Sharma. Sharma, however, uses a very special incense that emits a strong smell which repels the ghost. This forces Naskada to retreat, and Sudhanya falls asleep due to the incense effects. The next morning, Sudhanya wakes up to find Sharma in his room. Sharma has become a ghost after dying in a stove explosion, just like Sudhanya. Sudhanya is delighted to have a companion at last, and now the two burnt ghosts decide to live together in peace at Lily Villa. So this is a very brief summary of this lesson. I'm a Ghost. Watch my special videos on the summary in the 2 marks questions, and all the complete lessons, all the links are available in the description box or in the playlist. Let's move fast. For the lesson number 2, we are revising, right? So lesson number 2, you have here the Verger by Somerset Maugham. Verger, written by Somerset Maugham, it's a short story about Albert Edward Foreman, a very simple, a very dedicated verger. Verger means who works at a church, a caretaker, who works at St. Peter's Church for 16 years. He has been working for 16 years. He's well loved, respected for his services. But one day, a new vicar discovers that a new vicar came over there, and he finds that Albert Edward Foreman is a illiterate, not educated. So the vicar insists that Foreman should learn to read and write, or otherwise he should resign. Foreman, he was very proud of his services and he was unwilling to change, and so he decided to resign. So on his way home, he craves a cigarette, but he could not find any shop nearby who is selling cigarette. This inspired him to open a tobacco shop, and his business idea proves so successful, and he eventually opens many shops, and gradually he became a wealthy man. Years after, a bank manager suggests Foreman to invest his growing wealth. During their conversation, the manager is shocked to learn that Foreman is illiterate, and he marvels at his success despite this limitation. Foreman humorously responds that if he could read and write, he would still be a verger at St. Peter's Church. So this story highlights the themes of self-reliance, resourcefulness, and how opportunities can rise from unexpected circumstances. So this is the summary. Next, lesson number 3, a Letter to God by G.L.Fluents. Letter to God is a very touching story which highlights a faith, hope, and human nature. This story is set in a small village where a farmer named Lencho lives with his family. Lencho's crops are destroyed by a sudden hailstorm, tufan, leaving the family without food or any income. So he was very desperate, and Lencho write. I'm sorry, there may be some disturbance. Lencho writes a letter to God and asking for 100 pesos to survive until the next harvest. He sends a letter through the post office to the God. The postmaster opens the letter and he is touched by Lencho's faith in the God, and he decides to help. He collects money from his colleagues and he contributes from his own pocket, and he's able to manage about 70 pesos. The postmaster places the money in an envelope and he signs like a god, and he sends to his home by post. When Lencho receives the money, he's not surprised because he had complete faith that God would respond. However, upon counting the money, he becomes upset, thinking someone has stolen 30 pesos. 30 pesos is missing because he asked for 100 pesos. He writes another letter to God asking for the rest of the money, but he warns God not to send it through the post office because he believes that the postal workers are thieves. So, this story showcases Lancho's unwavering faith and the kindness of the postmaster, while also subtly reflecting human misunderstanding and suspicion. So, this is about the summary letter to God. Now, lesson number 4, My Financial Career by Stephen Leacock. My Financial Career by Stephen Leacock is a very humorous short story about a man's nervous experience when he tries to open a bank account. The narrator, who is not accustomed to dealing with the banks, and he decides to deposit his small savings. He walks into a large bank and he gets very much confused and very much afraid, intimidated by its grand atmosphere and stern staff. His nervousness makes him act awkwardly and he says some wrong things. For example, he asks to see the manager, thinking it is a proper procedure to open a bank account. When the manager meets him, the narrator feels even more anxious and gives the impression that he wants to deposit a large sum. After much fumbling, he reveals that he only has $56. Despite his embarrassment, he manages to open the account and deposit the money. However, his discomfort doesn't end here. In a very comical twist, his nervousness makes him to withdraw immediately the entire amount, whatever he has deposited. So feeling humiliated, he leaves the bank and he vowing that he will never return to the bank in his life. So this story shows the narrator's anxiety in a very formal situation and his struggle to navigate the unfamiliar processes, highlighting human vulnerability in a very light-hearted way. Next lesson we have here, Who Can Be Called a Great Man by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. It's an essay, it's in a speech, so quite tough lesson. I made it quite more simple. Guys, you can watch my videos on summary, 2 marks questions, model question paper. All the videos links are in the description box or in the playlist. Just have a look. Now, Dr. Ambedkar explores the qualities that define a great man, comparing different perspectives. Military leaders like Alexander and Napoleon, they are often called great because of their conquest and their influence. However, their impact in society is very short lived. Philosophers and thinkers like Carlyle, Rosebery, they suggest some other qualities. Carlyle says sincerity. He says that sincerity is important, but he clarifies it must be genuine, not boastful, not very shallow. Rosebery, he discussed Napoleon. He highlights extraordinary intellect, energy, and genius. So the philosophers they suggest great men are those who transform society and guide it towards progress, and they act as the forces for the social regeneration. Then Dr. Ambedkar believes sincerity and intellect are essential for greatness but not sufficient. While these qualities can make someone eminent, a truly great man must also have a deep commitment to a social purpose. He must work to cleanse and uplift society, distinguishing himself from merely notable individuals. So this is about the summary of who can be called a great man. Now lesson number 6, An Elementary School in a Slum by Stephen Spender. So I'm very rapid like Vande Bharat Express, right? Because it's a revision class. Okay. In elementary school classroom in a slum, in this lesson, Stephen Spender, he paints very stark picture, very gloom, very great picture of children, gloomy picture of children who are living slum school, and he shows that how they are malnourished, they are very much weary, they are very much burdened by their impoverished surroundings. The classroom is very bleak with dull walls, old maps, which shows very distant dreams and a world that feels very inaccessible to the children. These things are very away from those children who are very very poor. The poet draws attention to the physical and the emotional toll of poverty, as some children are described with the features that suggest the harshness of their lives. For example, they look like very thin, paper like bodies, minds which are weighed down, a lot of burden due to the hardships. The poem also critiques the disconnection between the children's reality and the world represented in the textbook. The vibrant maps and the educational materials which are kept in the classroom, they are very contrast to the children's existence. They are taught about faraway places, ideals that seem beyond the reach, symbolizing a sense of confinement within the slum life. The poet highlights how education, very much detached from the reality of the students' lives, becomes a symbol of lost potential rather than a path to liberation. So in the final stanza, the poet calls for a societal change. He requests that the system of education should be reformed to truly serve these children. He envisions a world where they can break free from the impoverished circumstances and dream for a better life. So symbolized by green fields, gold sands, the poet's request is not just a change in education, but for a broader social shift that would address the inequalities and allow these children to see a brighter future. So this is about this poem. Next, seventh poem, I mean to say lesson number 7, Fidelity, a poem by William Wordsworth. In this poem, the poet reflects on the theme of loyalty and using the image of a dog who explored the idea of faithfulness. The poet tells a story of a dog that remains loyal to its master even after the master's death. The dog, which had once been a faithful companion, is left grieving at the grave, symbolizing its unwavering devotion. Wordsworth highlights a deep connection between the dog and its master, emphasizing the dog's constant loyalty even in the face of death. The poem contrasts the dog's reality with the dog's loyalty with the human tendency to forget or betray. The dog's fidelity is portrayed as pure and unselfish in a stark contrast to the complexities. So he has used some images which shows the love and loyalty here, dog's devotion. Even after the death of his master, he's there, right? Now we are moving to the next. Please watch my watch my video and summary. My Mother's Sari, another poem by Vaidehi. In the poem by Mother Sari, the poet highlights the deep emotional bond between a daughter and a mother, using the mother's sari as a symbol of love, care, and tradition. The sari represents the comfort and protection the daughter feels as it is associated with her mother's presence and nourishing nature. It is not just a piece of clothing, but it's a physical manifestation of the mother's strength, warmth, and values which have been passed down through generations. The poem reflects on how the sari envelops the daughter, reminding her of her mother's enduring love and sacrifices. It becomes a powerful symbol of identity and continuity, representing the mother's influence in shaping the daughter's life and the sense of self. Through this intimate connection with the sari, the daughter feels a sense of belonging, comfort, and a deep bond with her roots and her mother's unwavering presence. So as I told you that we are revising. So for more information, please watch my videos on summary and the 2 marks questions. All the lessons links are available in the description box. Now we are moving to the part 2, that is a 30 marks question from grammar. So how the questions will be asked. So here, this is syllabus of the language component, your grammar, you have comprehension passage, you have vocabulary building, active passive voice, sentences, phrases and clauses, reported speech, writing skills, essay writing. So here, the very first question they'll ask you here, you have to read a passage and you need to answer the questions which are based on the passage. So 5 questions will be given and you need to find the answers. It's very easy. Read the passage for 2 times. Just collect the specific answer. Don't write pages together. Don't write paragraphs together. One line answer, sometimes one word answer, maybe 1 mark each question. Next question, you will be asked questions here from vocabulary. So 5 questions will be asked. How? They'll be asking the question from prefix, suffix, homophones. So I'll give a sample from the model question paper like this. For example, here it's a prefix. So insufficient, right? Underneath or below, whichever the most suitable word, right? Bear. Here, homophones. Then here, whichever is the most suitable word here. So like this, you will be having the questions from the vocabulary. So you need to have some common sense. You need to put a lot of effort while selecting the appropriate answer. So vocabulary for 5 marks. Then another 5 marks question, active and passive voice. You need to convert active voice to the passive voice. So this again another examples I have taken from your question paper. Like I won't read. It's already I have done in my model question paper also. So you need to convert the active voice into the passive voice. You can pause the video and you can go through it. And I've done videos on active passive voice also. The links are available in the description box. We are revising, right? Next question you have here, converting or reported speech direct to indirect speech. Here again you'll be having 5 sentences, direct speech to indirect speech. Like the boy said, the boy exclaimed that they had won the match. So this question again I have taken from the model question paper because this is a very first year. So 5 questions you need to answer, direct and indirect speech. Watch my special videos on direct and indirect speech. All the videos links you'll get in the description box. Then the last question you have here, 5 marks questions, do is directed based on some instructions. How? Identify the clause. You need to identify the clause over there from the sentences, and an incomplete sentence will be given. You need to add here some subordinate clause. Then again from a sentence you have to find out a verb phrase. Then next question you have to find out the noun phrase. Then about a sentence will be given. You need to find out whether it's a noun phrase or the verb phrase or true false. So like this 5 marks questions will be given. I had done videos on clause and this one subordinate clause and dependent clause. You can watch my video. Now you have some sample answer from the model question paper I have taken up. The questions will appear like this. Walked to the park. You have to identify the clause. I given some explanation here. So what is a clause is here? So walk to the clause is very incomplete. So we can say here he walked to the park, right? He walked to the park. So walk to the park is the clause here, independent clause. Then won the match, right? So you have to complete the sentence by adding here subordinate clause, because we worked hard, we won the match. Then in this sentence you have to find out here verb phrase, obviously ing format, right? Has been studying verb phrase. Then you have to find out here noun phrase. So quick brown box, brown fox is a noun, and she's swimming, this sentence is noun phrase. Yes, it's about a noun. So like this, you'll be having here 5 marks, 5 questions. Now the last question you have here, you need to write an essay on a given topic. So when you write an essay on the topic, write the name of the topic, divide your answers into the 3 segments. First introduction, second content, and third is the conclusion. So you can write here 3 short paragraphs. Don't write pages together. It's only for 5 marks. So your answer should not exceed more than 1 page. So friends, this is how I have revised the whole syllabus. If you go back, the structure of your question paper will be like this: 2 marks, 5 questions, 5 marks, 4 questions, 10 marks, 2 questions, comprehension passage, 5 marks, vocabulary building, prefix, suffix, homophones, 5 marks, active passive voice, 5 marks, reported speech, 5 marks. This one, clause, noun phrase, verb phrase, dependent clause, independent clause, 5 marks, essay writing, 5 marks. So this is how I have tried to revise the complete syllabus of the first semester BCom SEP syllabus under Bangalore University. And this is a revision for the examination, not very in-depth study. For more in detail, if you want to go through, you can watch my videos on all the lessons, 2 marks questions, summary, model question paper is already solved. Just have a look in the description box or the playlist. So friends, thank you so much for watching this video. I wish you very good luck for examination. May you get the best marks after watching my videos. So thank you so much. Stay in tune with Mukesh English. Write in the comment box after the examination. Write how this video really helped you a lot. So wish you again very good luck.